the business, man, to admit that you did that in the middle of the ring to try to make someone look bad. We don't do that, bro. You know why? Because you got a family to feed, and so do I. I ain't going to fuck with your mom. Now, in the dressing room, I'll step to you, and I would like for you to step to me, too, if we got a problem. But in the ring, you don't do that, bro.
Oh, Stevie Ray, by the way, Stevie Ray, you can curse, you know that, right? Like, because I hear you holding back on some. I'm saying you can curse. It's okay. Because I hear you holding back on some curses. If you feel like you want to curse, you can curse. It's off the cuff radio for a reason.
No. I have no problem with it. Just like I'm just trying to be professional.
Okay. I know you're trying to be a little cordial, but you don't have to.
Right.
Turn up.
I appreciate that.
Definitely. This is off the cuff radio.
But in that situation now, you know, I hadn't.
But going back to your show though, Stevie Ray, I forgot the name of it actually. Can you remind people out there?
Stand up for greatness.
Stand up for greatness.
Stand up for greatness.
Stand up for greatness. Yeah. Make sure y'all check it out. You on iTunes and YouTube, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Make sure y'all check it out, man.
We release little clips on YouTube every now and then, whenever we can, from different stuff we got in the can, and try to entice people to subscribe. And you know, we had to go down at the end of the year for a while because of some legality reasons with the network.
Right.
And, but everything's been cleared up now because someone was saying that my boy had stole some content for him, so YouTube had to get to the bottom of it. So we had to shut things down for a minute. You know how that goes.
There's always something with YouTube. Yeah, you already know. It's just a mess.
Right. But so, we got it cleared up now.
The last time, that's good. The last time I was actually watching your show, you had Vinny Rue on the show or whatever. You guys had the back-to-back debate, which was a really good show. And this is around the time when somebody had told me about it. I was like, oh, I didn't even know Stevie Ray had his own podcast. And, you know, you, like, it's basically, I didn't know you had a mouthpiece like that, Paul. You know, like how you was basically matching wits with this dude Vince Russo. And I'm like, okay, I like this.
You should have known from the WCW commentary days he had a mouthpiece.
Yeah,
he was always sharp.
A lot of people don't know, man. A lot of people don't know. That's actually what I went to school for.
Have communication?
I know I like to speak the Ebonics and all that stuff because it's fun, man. That's just us as people. But, you know, I actually, when I came out of high school, I wanted to work in radio and stuff like that. I used to DJ in clubs. Like I say, I remember, that's why I can speak on hip-hop, because I was one of the guys spinning records when all this stuff hit. You dig what I'm saying? When it all hit. I was one of the guys that was spinning records at that time. In clubs. All over Houston.
And I think you now.
What was your DJ name? Hold on, T. I just had one thing. What was your name? What's your DJ name?
I didn't even have a DJ name.
DJ
I didn't have one.
Stevie Ray.
You talking about that's more the stuff in the Northeast and North. They got DJ names. Nobody had no DJ names in the South, bro. You kidding me?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Radio personality, but it was like, you know, I'm the Night Eagle or something like that. You know, all that stuff didn't hit down here till years later. It was popping off up there, and the reason I know that is because we used to go to the record pool, you know, to listen to music. You know, that's how they did back in the day. You go to the record pool, and you can just listen to music and see what's hot, and you take it to the club. You see what I'm saying? So what was happening down here, we was just getting a glimpse of it. But a person that's in the business, I was hearing a lot of it. If you dig what I'm saying, I was hearing a lot of it. But I didn't know it was going to jump off the way it did, though, you know?
Right, but y'all being from Houston, too, I mean, y'all saw that whole situation blow up in terms of, you know, with the ESG, you know, DJ Screw, and also a guy by the name of Scarface.
That's Scarface. That's my boy, man. I remember, you know, meeting Scarface. Guess what, you know, because, you know, back in the day, you know, when I'm wrestling, I ain't really have time to really when I come home, I'm not one of them guys that like to go out and stuff like that. I really go out while I'm on the road. So when I get home, man, I was a straight up homebody. I didn't want to go nowhere, bro. But and you know, the Ghetto Boys, because you know a lot of my partners and stuff was into the hip hop game too. Still are to this day, a whole bunch of. Matter of fact, my boy Murder One just had a party Friday night. He just had a party Friday night. Him and K Reno was the host. I don't know if you know that. They big down this area. Yeah, they're my boys, man. We all from the South Park.
Yeah, we had K Reno on the show.
Yeah, he was up there last.
K Reno on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, we all from the same neighborhood, man.
Because
that's awesome.
Yeah, we all from the same neighborhood. Matter of fact, they came in and did my radio show. I used to have a radio show up until, I don't know, like 3-4 months ago. I just got tired of it, and I wanted to just concentrate on the podcast because the podcast can be, well, you know how they are. They can be kind of financially more, you know, suitable than, you know, radio show doing it once a week. So I want to concentrate on it and make it better. So, but I had those guys in on my radio show. We had a real good show, man. Real good show.
That's tight, man.
A question I wanted to shoot to you too, brother. Oh, yeah. What I want to shoot to you too, brother, was like after WCW went out and they got bought out and everybody had to go to the WWF for work and everything. And I was wondering like why you didn't come along with Book.
Well, first of all, I was basically tired of all the bullshit that goes on with WCW. I was glad the motherfuckers folded.
Oh Lord, he was like, good riddance.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
I told guys 2 years before it happened it was going to happen.
Right.
They couldn't continue.
Yeah, a lot of people said that. A lot of people really don't know what was going on behind the scenes and what was going on with that company, man. There was a lot of stuff going on that people just don't know. Talk to us, like give us an example.
What can you talk about is not confidential.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is like you can't keep companies afloat like that where people are taking liberties on someone else's money.
Exactly.
Can't do it. You know,
now,
somebody's got a lot of money and you're taking liberties with it, man. So when they consolidated with Time Warner,
right?
Okay, Time Warner is going to look at everything. They're going to audit everything,
right?
And they did, and that's what happened. People think Vince McMahon just came in there and bought the company. He didn't.
No, Time Warner decided that they didn't want to do it anymore.
Time Warner said, "Man, get these fucking thieves off my motherfucking books." That's what the fuck they did.
Yeah, they decided they didn't want it no more.
Yeah, it's like they gift wrap. It's like they gift wrap WCW for Vince. You know, it's like because they just didn't want nothing else. Like, and then AOL came in. You know, they didn't want nothing else to do with it no more.
Vince only bought the library, which is worth a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
Time Warner could still be made. Time Warner could, if they were smart, they could, you know. And he bought the logo. That's it. What else do you have?
You got everything right there. You got the highlights of the past.
No. I'm saying after that, what else do you have? A building?
No network.
Nothing. A building that you can sell and make more money from it than it's actually bringing in? Really?
Exactly.
I can rent the space out and turn it into office spaces. You dig?
That's a cold game,
and make
man.
more money off it than what's going on in here. Huh?
That's cold game you were spitting about how business is conducted in terms of when people see that opportunity and they exploit it.
Right. Now this wrestling crap, they didn't want to have nothing to do with it. So Vince came in and he bought the library, which is Time Warner was actually had put it up for bid. Who knows who would have bought it? You see what I'm saying? Who knows?
Right.
But he's made more money off the library than he spent it out.
Look, Vince going to start up the XFL this year with his own money. So, I mean, in 2020, the XFL again, he's going to do it by himself.
You don't think some of that is... Exactly. There you go.
Yeah,
you don't think he done make money off of that, bro? And that $9.99 station.
That network.
The network.
Where you can go see all the matches and stuff for $9.99.
That WCW catalog keeping them eating.
Well, come on, bro. I think Vince paid $5 million for everything. You telling me a company that spends $500,000 a week doing 2 live shows and doing shows all over the world and got TV content all over the world is only worth $5 million?
That was pennies compared to what he was actually bringing. What he's actually
bringing. Man, look.
And they were
pennies.
And they was kicking ass with the Monday Night Wars, and it was like they had the WWE on the shelf almost. And they only got bought up for $2 billion. That's a cold game there.
At the end of the day,
they was beating them in the Raiders for like almost 2 years.
Right. But at the end of the day, hey, behind the scenes, there was a lot of things going on that people just didn't know about. And Time Warner didn't want to have nothing to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, talk to us. We want to hear a story because we know that you're famous for your stories. Tell us like a story. You don't have to say no names if you don't want to. Tell us like a locker room story or something. Tell us a funny story about what happened. Like,
to be honest, I'm not one of those guys unless it's something that pops into my head like I do on my show. A lot of stuff I don't even remember, and my co-host would bring up certain situations, and then I would remember them. Because really and truly, I could care less what those guys said to each other. And I'm a kind of person, better you than me.
Right.
And I know a lot of people look at me like that.
All right. Let me give you Let me try to give you an idea. Okay, because I'm thinking of some tag teams that was around that time. All right. You ever hung out with, like, let's see, like the Nancy Boys or something like that? Because I remember you guys had a rivalry with them once upon a time. Is it the time you ever hung out with the Nancy Boys?
Actually, me and Knobs rode together for a while. Me and Brian Knobs are very good friends. And Jerry Sack.
Okay.
Very good friends. We were always cool. Me and Steiner brothers, we were always. If you want like a shoot interview, like people I had a problem with, I didn't fucking have no problem with nobody. A couple of times, some stuff that's not even worth talking about. Misunderstandings and stuff like that.
Well, who
had
a problem with you though? You tall, diesel, black dude. Who's gonna want to really test you though? Around that time,
first of all, most times when you have problems in the dressing room, it's people that's got overbearing egos.
Right.
And the egos spill over. I don't have an overbearing ego. I come to work and do my job, whether if I'm working in the post office or working, in the yard. Now, with that being said, as long as you conduct yourself in the ring, I'm cool.
Right.
Now, if I'm in the ring and somebody don't conduct themselves, that's a whole nother ball game, bro. The professional wrestling game, to me, it was never romper room. It was business. And the same way you attack any business, you have to attack that business the same way. The rules apply to all businesses. Some people don't get that. That's why I was able to last in the business as long as I did. That's why I'm still on a Legends contract to this day.
Yeah,
I can relate to that mindset.
Reality of wrestling. You still in the business to this day.
Right. That's why I've always respected the business. I never thought I was bigger than the business.
Right. And we've heard stories about some guys.
And I appreciate being in the business.
Right.
Because the business was good to me. It was good to my family. It put my daughter through college. It gave my daughter a trust fund. You dig what I'm saying? It gave me the liberty to go and see things that I never saw before or never would have seen. And to interact and meet certain people that I've met and people that admire what I do and things of that nature, which I And I appreciate that, man. That's a blessing.
Definitely.
That's a blessing. And I'm not very religious, but I'm not. That's a blessing.
Definitely.
I could definitely relate to the mindset.
I take it for what it is. Huh?
Yeah, I could definitely relate to that mindset of going in with just a business marker and not really trying to make friends, because that's how you get sidetracked on, you know, the overall mission. Like, you know, a lot of guys, they get caught up in the mix trying to make friends and stuff, and their careers just either get derailed, or when they get stabbed in the back, they don't know how to recover from it.
There you go. And like I said earlier, those same things will happen in any form of entertainment. You dig?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't but a couple of people got your back. Ain't but a couple of people gonna have your back. And you need to know who they are. Now, that's not saying being an introvert or being antisocial. You just got to know the ropes.
Definitely.
Because here comes, that's why you see
man.
so many. I mean, that's just real talk, brother. I don't know how to put it in any other way.
You made it crystal clear. You got to align yourself
man.
with those who want to see you succeed. You know, I mean,
So
it's just
a lot of. Right.
You getting games from Stevie Ray live. Hold on, Stevie. I gotta plug this real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, bro.
Of course, sponsored by Da Vinci. You can't forget about Da Vinci. Make sure you check out Da Vinci too, Stevie Ray. They're on Instagram also. They got the nice clothing. We got Stevie Ray in the building, spitting that game for you guys out there, man. You already know the number, 619-924-0703. Press 1 if you want to talk to the legendary Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat.
Or if you want to get some business tips.
What was that?
Or if you want to get some tips on, you know, how to, you know, not surviving not only wrestling, but also the game of life in general, because that's what this show is all about as well. We also drop those gems. It parallels.
That's good.
Now,
but speaking of businesses and stuff, like, talk to us about reality of wrestling. Like, I see, you know, you, Book, and Charmel, you know, the family came together, and you guys got a Fed. How long has Fed's been? How many years you guys been out with reality of wrestling so far?
Close to 10 now.
Okay.
Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah, close to 10 now. 9, 10, something like that. Been a minute now. You know, it started little, but it's grown. But, you know, it's just having fun with what you like to do. Right. And that's what I try to tell the young guys, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being ambitious. But if you don't enjoy it, you'll never make it.
Now, in terms of that, Stevie Ray, I wanted to segue that into the documentary and also the movie as well, you know, Beyond the Mat and The Wrestler, of course. Because Beyond the Mat, you know, you and your brother survived all those years because the strenuousness, having to go through things every night, being a professional, ready to perform, you all never fell into those drug habits. But a lot of guys did. And we've lost so many legends over the years, you know, in terms of drug overdoses and health issues. How hard is it to really maintain that level of stamina to keep doing it? Because, I mean, y'all did it, but so many did it. I mean, what was it like, you know, for some of those guys? Oh, go ahead.
No. I listen to you. I'm listening to you 100%.
But you know, and of course, no, you're good. You're good. And especially with the movie The Wrestler, you know, with Mickey Rourke, that has to be one of the most clairvoyant depictions of a wrestler I've ever seen. For a guy who's not a wrestler, but he nailed that role.
It hit a lot of points in the wrestling business that people don't know about.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I think Mickey Rourke played the hell out of that part, man. He really did.
Yes, he did. And, Andy Robinson.
Yeah. And hey, that gave you a glimpse of a glimpse of things that really go on in the wrestling business, man. It's this business, just like any form of entertainment. I will tell you this, and I'm quite sure you guys already know it. The business of entertainment doesn't give a shit about you.
That's true. Let's move on to the next act.
It gives it. Hey, what is the old adage? The
only
show
as good as your last performance. Yeah.
The show must go on, bro.
And you're only as good as your last performance. You know, when they think you can't perform anymore.
And that's true too. Depending on who's running things, but at the end of the day,
right?
You know, everything keeps moving, and that's the thing That's the thing that people don't understand. That's one of the things. My boy Ahmed, you know, I used to tell him when he got up to WWE, man. Hey, this business don't love you, bro. Keep your nose clean up there.
Yeah, and I heard that
somebody gonna be in line to try to fuck you over, bro.
And
once you start getting a push, you know, there's always somebody there to try to stop your push, bro. You never know who they are.
And I also heard that Ahmed. I also heard Ahmed in terms of, and this is no shade on him at all because we never throw shade on the show. We just speak real facts about what we know of in terms of the situation. But with Ahmed, I heard that Ahmed also had an issue in terms of him being a professional and how he conducted himself. Like he wasn't training as he should have, and guys were getting legitimately hurt in matches with him. Can you share light?
I heard some of those same things. I wasn't there, but I heard some of them because, well, you know, being in the business, certain guys talk to you. So I'm not getting it on second level like you guys are.
Got you.
See what I'm saying? I'm getting it right from different people that work there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, man, come on, bro. You know. But, hey, man, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, when you ask me about drugs and things of that nature, if you're that kind of person in the wrestling business, you're going to be that same person outside the wrestling business.
Basically.
I never put the wrestling business as something that stagnated somebody's growth. If you're a fuck up, you're a fuck up in any business.
Right.
You just got more. You just apt to be around it more in the entertainment business. That's why you see somebody.
You know something thing too. Stevie Ray, because you and your bro, you guys stayed in such great shape after all these years. While there's other wrestlers out there that end up, basically,
right.
Their health start to diminish. What is it that's what is it that that you do to stay in shape or whatever? Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to start going back to the gym my damn self. Give me some tips.
I don't want to get that podcast. I don't want to get that podcast gut yet.
I tell people this all the time, though, man. The wrestling business had nothing to do with me and my health.
Right.
I was a guy that was in the gym every day before I ever got in the wrestling business, and I'm the same guy with the same lifestyle that I had 35 years ago. Same lifestyle.
Changed. You had those good habits.
The only thing changed is I'm not in the ring anymore. I've never been an alcohol guy. I've never been a drug guy. I've never been a fucking guy that's out all night chasing pussy.
Right.
I've never been that guy. Don't get me wrong. I do my share.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, celebrity life is great. I know the celebrity life is great after hours.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You
but I've never
silence.
been that guy. Okay, I'm on the road, so I'm just gonna get drunk, pop pills, and all this kind of stuff. And I've never been that guy. I've never been that guy. And I look at guys that were those guys, and I'm like, wow, what the hell? But, it's just an experience for me. I just look at him and go, hey, man, better him than me. Not saying that I would rather him see something happen to him. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that if that's what makes your life feel good and happy, go do it. I ain't going to stop you, and I'm not going to say anything. I just know what's good for me. That's the only thing I got power
Go.
over is myself. It's the only thing.
Yeah. I'm
and I
now
still
on your
do the
podcast.
same thing to this day. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna shoot you after you finish. Yeah, but I was shoot you, but on your podcast. So I subscribed to it last month. One of the best podcasts out there, and with you covering wrestling, you have to cover what's current and everything like that. And in comparison to how the business was, like in terms of entertainment value, do you see it like evolving, or you see it taking a step backwards?
No, what I see is what pop culture does to all entertainment that we look at on a day-to-day basis, regardless what it may be. Pop culture dictates how everything evolves. That is one reason I've always had a problem. And my boy K. Reno and C. Murder and all them guys will tell you, I always had a problem with how Wall Street took hip-hop.
Hip-hop. Yeah, it made it corporate.
And changed it into what they wanted it to be.
Exactly.
Because you have powers in numbers. It's your thing. In the words of James Brown, this is my thing. And did you ever see James Brown change for anybody? No.
Hell no.
I would never, as an artist, because I got more pride than that, because I don't worship material things. I don't worship money. I don't worship somebody telling me that I'm somebody and I need to be somebody, but I know within myself I'm somebody to me.
Exactly. That's deep.
So when it comes to my art, I won't change it for somebody. I will not degrade my fellow man. I will not misogynist my fellow woman. I won't put down my community. I won't get into a battle that actually becomes real and people believe it, but takes my community and take them down a notch and just put them in another position to be put in jail because they got a place for you. They've made a lot of, jails and stuff like that, and they got to have them. They got to have just like a hotel. I got to get people in them to make money.
Exactly.
So
that's real still, especially
in a lot of ways, you sacrificed the art form for personal reasons.
Right.
You never sacrifice what you started. And somebody else don't even understand that, but they do understand numbers. That's all they care about. If every hip-hop artist fell off the planet tomorrow, they wouldn't care. They would sleep good at night.
Exactly.
Because that's just the way they built. But at the end of the day, our art form, not just hip-hop, in a lot of ways, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we dress, they've taken and made billions off of it.
Yes, they have.
And I got a problem with that. So that's why I'm one of the ways I am, because I see the world for what it is, not for what someone tell me it is. I did my own research. And at the end of the day, I'm from another era where an artist would tell you, like when someone wanted Stevie Wonder to change his way, change the way he do things. If it take me 8 months to make an album, this is what I do. You don't want to pay me, somebody else will.
Exactly.
Because I'm that fucking good. So you can't minimize me. I'm that good. I'm an artist.
That is, if there was any
there you go, man.
If there was any jewels of truth in that, that was one of them. Because a lot of people, we look at how hip-hop how it's changed over the years. And as you said, when the corporate entities got involved, when they saw they could make money off of it, because when you look at it from 1978 to roughly right around the you could say the early 2000s, that's when you kind of saw the change in it, where you saw it becoming more, back in the day, you had so many artists that were on independent labels that did not need a big label's money. And then with the phenomenon of hip-hop, rap music, it was still underground. It had not hit the commercial mainstream, so we still had control of it. And for a lot of people, it's just like what happened with rock and roll back in the day. They never thought rock and roll would last, but it did. And hip-hop is the voice for the urban community of black and brown people who were marginalized in society. But like you said, once they realized in terms of fashion, in terms of changing, the image, and I'm going to just go there. I'm gonna just go there. The shit that we see now niggas wearing, we were dresses, just tattoos on the face for nothing more than shock value. A dude wearing a wedding dress in a video and putting a gun in his mouth. That's
just degeneracy.
Which is all a part of the mind control.
Right.
Everything is a part of mind control. To actually feminize a black man.
There you go.
So,
Stevie Ray in the building, y'all.
A lot of
we talking about hip hop right now. We're not even talking about wrestling right now. This is how diverse Off the Cuff Radio is.
I do this on my own podcast because when you got,
let them know the name of that podcast one more time.
It's Stevie Ray, Stand Up for Greatness, and I'm gonna tell you, right before we had to shut down, we were 195 on iTunes.
Oh man!
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's because I tell it like it is. I don't hold anything back, and I tell it like it is. And that's why, people like the stories. You can incorporate a lot of things in like what we're doing right now. Okay, I'm a professional wrestler. You guys got a wrestling show. That's fine. But just because that was my occupation, and I tell people this all the time, I wrestled for a living. I am a proud African-American man as a human being.
Tell it.
Now, which one you think I give them more of a damn about?
And that is one thing. That is one thing that I respect so much about, you and your brother, and a lot of other brothers in the game too. Who always, you never did any coonery. There was never any buffoonery. Y'all always, you both carried the torch for representation for a demographic that, kind of at times was just maybe considered a passing, interest in terms of what people would say, they watch, but we're really not going to really try. But you guys did so much to uplift us, as people, and we can't thank you enough.
I appreciate that, bro.
For your contributions.
Well, speaking of coonery and buffoonery, I got to ask you this also.
He's laughing. What's coming?
I already know.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming. He had his notes for a minute, man. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
We kind of gravitating toward that category right now. So that's
how we do, man. That's how we do. But
gotta load it up.
You already know. All right. What's the first thing you told your brother when he came up with the whole King Booker? That whole King Booker stint.
Actually, Vince and them came up with that, but it's typical. It's typical. You rarely in today's, let's say from 2005 till today, I guess that'll be 13 years, 12 and a half years, whatever the situation may be. If you look at the African American in the professional wrestling business versus WWE goes, and I'm not saying this in a disparaging type of way, I have not seen just a strong African American man that lays it down the way we did. And when I tell people, you guys asked me earlier, why didn't I go to WCW? First of all, I was kind of fed up with the business back then, so I went overseas for 3.5 years. And by me going overseas for 3.5 years, I didn't have to deal with the domestic part of how professional wrestling is here. I didn't even have to see it. You know, and
Right.
I had started another business here, so I had to be home more. And my daughter was getting older at the time too, so I wanted to be home more. But be that as it may, with all of that being said, there's a lot of things that I didn't agree with as far as my brother character goes, but that's him. That's not me. Okay?
I actually love King Booker. I'm not gonna lie, but it was just so out of the ordinary coming from.
I'm not saying anything about it, but what I'm saying is that is how WWE likes to put characters out there, not as what you as African Americans want to see, but as they see us.
Right. Right.
And what can I sell to the masses, not what I can sell to the 13% of the African American audience that's, I don't know what percentage of our audience.
Exactly.
If that actually makes sense. So at the end of the day, when you ask me what did I say about King Booker, it's typical of WWE. That is just how they work in a lot of ways. You know,
they do characters.
But do you know what's so talented about Booker? I didn't mean to cut you off, but what was so talented about Booker though was like anything that they gave him, he made it work somehow. That just showed how talented he was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, they're not gonna even approach somebody with something if they don't think that person can make this work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being a king, but what African Americans have a problem with, why do you talk like that? That's the question.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the seat.
There's nothing wrong. We come from a.
It's more than a sham.
Culture.
I am from the SmackDown Kingdom, and my name is King Booker.
Right. We
and
come
I am
from a
in
culture of kings and queens. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our culture is of kings and queens. So it's nothing new about that. But
it would have been better if you'd have kept, basically kept, how he was talking from before, and that would have. Oh my God!
You see that?
Oh, you just reminded me of something. You just reminded me of something, Stevie Ray.
What's that?
Remember when when Booker T was in TNA and they try to make him sound Jamaican?
Man.
Nothing surprised me about TNA either.
Yeah, I had to. I'm sorry. I had to. Yo,
hey,
I'm like, why they got Booker T sounding Jamaican?
It's your show. What you sorry about, man?
I had to.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, bro. I mean,
that confused me.
Trying to get info. I mean, what you want me to say? I didn't give him the gimmick,
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, man. I mean, hey, it is what it is. That's the pro wrestling business, brother. That's just the way. And I know what you guys are saying. It's such a stretch from where you grew up watching to where it became. That's what you're saying without saying it, right?
Yeah.
We just saw the changes as it went along.
Right. That's the pro wrestling business, bro. That's the ideas of some of these numbskulls and knuckleheads that actually behind the scenes putting shit together, thinking they know shit, man. Then again, a lot of times they'll do shit just to try to make you look stupid and get a laugh out of it, within themselves. So that's the kind of stuff.
I definitely know that.
Sometimes, bro.
I see you guys as trailblazers. Yeah, I see you guys as like trailblazers and everything, and it's kind of like for me, like being a long time fan to adapt and watch, a lot of the buffoonery with the new acts they be signing to WWE. Now I like the New Day and everything, but sometimes they go over the top with that shit.
Brother, hey, I don't even have any words for that, bro. I really don't.
But see,
that's what I'm saying. He can't talk too crazy because Booker is with the company and all that.
I give you an honest assessment, brother. I don't. A lot of things that go on, I don't understand. Just because I was a professional wrestler, a lot of people think I understand all this. I don't. Just because an astronaut goes to the moon. John Glenn went to the moon, right? Okay, that don't mean he understand why they build another type of spaceship. You know, what was wrong with the one I drove to the moon? You know, I mean,
I just had to put that out there because I saw a clip in the news yesterday.
That's real.
I was like, man, come on! I just had to put it out there. I had to get it off my chest.
I mean, I'm like this, brother. A lot of the stuff that you see, I don't even understand. So asking me about it, I can't give you an answer. I don't know.
But you know what,
I'm not too proud
Stevie Ray?
to tell a person I don't know.
But you know what,
right.
Stevie
So what about this though, Stevie Ray? Like, do you watch the product now? Like, are you ready for the Royal Rumble tonight?
Not as much as people think I do. I'll watch a match here and a match there because I'm usually at the gym when the wrestling show comes on, so I really don't get a chance to see a lot of it.
Right.
Okay.
But you know what, Stevie Ray? What you said about how people will do certain things in the name of money or fame, it reminds me of what happened with Dave Chappelle when he left his show when they were having him do questionable skit, when they wanted him to do questionable skits. And Dave was like, I'm not doing this. And he walked away from $50 million. But when he was on Oprah, he echoed the same sentiments. He's like, they were laughing a little bit harder than I was.
Right.
And
when you give a damn about your art, if material stuff overrides your self-respect, you will always choose the latter of the two.
And that's true. And that's why I get so much props today.
Especially when you come from nothing.
Right.
And people out there that's running things and controlling things, they know this. They know it. These people have a lot to offer. Let's take it from them, but don't give them shit back to them. We'll take it all. And we'll let them have the crumbs, which is more than enough for them. That's been going on since the crucifixion, bro.
The have and the have not. You know, but it's a situation where, like you said, you know, with your talent, you knew you were going to be successful wherever you went. Just like with Dave. Dave was already an established comedian, so Dave didn't need it.
Right.
When Dave knew the situation wasn't right, he was like, yo, I'm out.
Well,
and he can still do a Netflix and get paid $20 million.
Well, the thing is, look how many years went by since that happened, right?
Right.
Look how many years went by. That was what, early 2000s?
That was 2004 after the second season when they gave him over the,
like I said, early 2000s. I'll call mid 2005 and up.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. 12 and a half, 13 years went by.
Right.
How much money do you think Dave Chappelle made in them 13 years?
A lot.
Okay. Because what? He's talented.
He was still,
as long as he's talented,
shows. Right.
As long as he's talented, you might not pay me, but somebody else will.
Exactly.
Didn't I tell you
it's not only that he's talented, that nigga got a hell of a management team.
But at the end of the day, you got to have a management team to manage what you do. But what I'm saying is,
a real good management team.
Right. At the end of the day, I'm a somebody, and people like me. If I say I don't want to do television ever again, I can still sell out stadiums all over the world.
That is true. And we're kind of getting off, and I want to kind of change it in another tangent for a minute because what you said is true. Because Dave basically works when he wants to.
Right.
Now, in terms of the situation with Monique, how did you feel when she started going off on that tangent about? Because we're all pro-black here, and we all support black people. We love being.
Right.
What's really going on with Monique in terms of this whole situation,
I don't know.
man? I just want to get your opinion
Monique
on that.
Has been, from what I've read, Monique has been blackballed for a minute, you know.
Right.
And, you know, we haven't seen the real Monique in quite some time. And I was reading something the other day. I don't know how true it is. Like somebody posted something that she was actually lying about the $500,000.
She was offered $3 million instead of that $500,000.
But at the end of the day, why would she go on YouTube or whatever, social media, and say they only offered the $500,000? Why would she do that?
Well, you know, it's funny, man.
And why would she ask? This is the thing that gets me.
Right.
When it's time for people to stand together and protest different companies that's taking advantage of our young black individuals, male or female, in the entertainment business, that we don't stand together. Why should we stand together and help you.
Right.
What has Monique ever done?
And then calling out Oprah
and ask somebody to protest something, man. First of all,
for her to go, yeah.
First of all, I'm not putting my business in that's just me. I'm not putting my business in the street like that to tell you. Even if I put my business in the street like that, I'm not going to ask you to take what you like to do on an entertainment basis and stop looking at it for me. That's not right in my eyes.
Right.
But what would be right in my eyes is to just tell people, hey, like some people, hey, Netflix asked me $500,000. I didn't think it was right. I think I'm bigger than that and blah, blah, blah. But why does that have to be some kind of confrontation between African Americans and Netflix? Netflix got a lot of African Americans on there that they doing good things with. What about them?
Yeah.
Then you start hurting
exactly.
Right?
And the fact is, with Monique, obviously I'm not in that scene, but it's ironic after she won that Oscar for Precious back in 2010, and supposedly, Lee Daniels told her that she had been blackballed. But it's like, where did it happen in terms of why she got blackballed? And I mean, but to come at
because
Oprah,
I think a lot of
go ahead.
I think a lot of people actually believe winning an Oscar makes you bigger than what you are. That used to be true. It's not true anymore.
You think she started believing that?
Did you hear when she went on there and said, "Shit, I'm the number one comedian"? Did you hear her say that?
She said
oh my God!
That's like okay. So you're just gonna ignore Whoopi and a couple of other people as well. Whoopi and all them, black and white, who came before her, and she's gonna say she's the most decorated.
Did Jamie Foxx win Oscar?
Yeah, for Ray.
I think he did for Ray.
And
right.
Yeah, he won it for Ray for Best Actor.
What I'm saying is this.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there that have won Oscars, okay?
Uh-huh.
And never had a successful movie after that.
Right.
The Oscar means you had a stellar performance.
Right.
That don't mean you are a stellar performer.
That's church right there. But it goes back to what you said about wrestlers. A lot of them think that they are more than what they actually are.
I mean, the Oscar is a good tool when you in there negotiating. But at the end of the day, you said it yourself. What have you done for me lately? Okay, you won an Oscar, great performance. But some of those movies that win Oscars never drew a dime.
That's true.
Half the time I look at the academies, I'm like, how the hell did this movie get nominated? I never heard of it.
That's the thing. They're not going by box office. If that's the truth, if box office was about it, then everything in Avatar would have swept the whole goddamn thing, right?
That's true. But I mean, but you
Avatar
remember,
made more money than any movie in the history of cinema.
That's true. But it's funny though, dog, because what happened is, you remember back in the day when Al Sharpton and them were leading the charge against the Academy Awards, because when Denzel did the Hurricane, which was such a stellar performance, and there were no black people nominated, and basically said, we're going to boycott Hollywood if somebody don't get something. And the next year, he gets it for Training Day, which I thought Training Day was a great movie. I didn't think it was Oscar caliber, but that's I love Denzel.
Me either.
For what it was, it was a great action movie for what it was, but I don't think that it was actually like Heat was an Oscar movie. And then of course when Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball. But that movie is like, when you look at it, that movie is like disturbing on so many levels.
That was a great movie, Monsters Ball. It didn't make any money at the box office either.
Right.
That movie
I thought it did.
It
was good. I just said it was disturbing though when you look at the characters in terms of how they were. Right.
But that's how they look at cinema. I mean, not cinema, but acting.
Right.
It's the art of acting. It's not the art of the movie.
Right. Right. That is true.
It's the art of acting and the performance of that character, and that's what it's based on. The movie, like you said, like my man just said, man, I never heard of that movie. And most of the movies that you look at on the Oscars are not the box office movies. If that's the case, Harrison Ford should have 20 goddamn Oscars.
That's true. Because Harrison's done some stuff.
You telling me anybody could have played Indiana Jones?
Nope.
You got a
He's
point.
his role. It's just like,
I mean,
it's like
you telling
Mark
me
Hamill and Luke
anybody?
Skywalker.
You telling me if you saw Indiana Jones, how the hell could you? Who else could have done that, bro? I mean, talk about.
You know
that.
they're gonna reboot it. You know they're gonna reboot it sooner or later because Harrison
reboot
Ford's getting
everything.
older. You know they're gonna
I'm
reboot
just saying.
Indiana Jones
They're gonna
I'm
eventually.
just saying.
They're gonna ruin it.
Han Solo in Indiana Jones was 5 movies that was in the top 10 grossing movies of all time back in the day. One dude.
Right.
Mhm.
And
all of them got paid off of that.
And
So
Harrison Ford ain't never got
Ford was
nominated
killing
for
them in
nothing.
the 80s.
And ain't nominated for
Oh,
nothing.
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? What did he ever get nominated for?
I don't think Harrison's ever been nominated for an Oscar.
I don't
Then
think
he
so
might
either.
have. But
I don't
Get on my
remember.
Googles and look that up.
I'm just saying, Indiana Jones to me was the baddest dude of the 80s.
Yes, he was.
You talking about
Raiders of the
you
Lost
telling me
Ark.
Indiana Jones? You telling me the Indiana Jones character and the way he played those movies, in that playing a swashbuckler back in the 30s and 40s, was not as good as Denzel Washington playing a black bad cop? You kidding me, man?
And I mean, we all love Denzel, but Denzel,
Come on, bro.
Denzel should have got it for Glory in terms of lead actor, but he got it in 1989 for Best Supporting Actor in Glory.
Right.
But then again, that's because his role was secondary, but he played it. But
Oh yeah,
but
I mean,
You know what it is? You know what it was in training days is that because people didn't normally see Denzel Washington as a bad guy, and it's like how he played the bad guy. He played it so
That's true,
smooth.
too. That's true.
And
Wait
he
a
was
minute.
very
Wait a
smart.
minute.
Like he.
Wait a minute. He never played a bad guy?
not until that movie.
No, I'm saying no. I'm not. I don't mean like never. I mean
Check it
like
out.
people don't. People that normally see him as a bad guy in movies. He's always been
Hey,
like
wait a
that, romantic type, or he'll be like a
Denzel,
good cop.
Didn't Denzel murder his sergeant in A Soldier
Oh,
Story?
An Officer and a Gentleman. And that Officer and a Gentleman, Soldier Story.
Soldier Story.
Yeah.
What about that?
But that was not.
But that's the
story
thing.
was
A
not,
lot of people don't know about that. That's what I'm saying. It's not familiar to the public eye like that.
That was a great movie. No lie.
But that
Soldier
was a
Story
different
was a great movie.
Yes, it was. Adolph Caesar, David Allen Greer, Robert Townsend, Blair Underwood.
That was one of those movies. Go ahead.
But that was a situation with Denzel when you watch the movie, when you see what had been happening in that command, you see why he did what he did at the end of it.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about the plot. I'm not talking about the plot of the movie. We just know Denzel is not as. We just know Denzel is not as good as everybody think he is. Like, you killed once, that means you kill again.
That's true. He's like, yeah, I done it. I can do it again.
That's how the system look at us, right? You killed once, Joker. You well, a cop walk up and go, hey,
no names with it, but yeah.
Denzel,
he won't call out no names, but yeah.
That's that Denzel Shaw right there.
And the man was drunk, couldn't defend himself.
Man, yeah, but a Soldier Story, that was an excellent movie.
Sure.
Oh,
Well, anyways,
great movie, man.
How much minutes you got left, King? We got like 10 more minutes
we got
left.
probably about 15 minutes to spare.
So,
but yeah, man. But hey, bro, at the end of the day, we have an uphill battle. We have an uphill struggle in this thing that we call the entertainment business, that they've taken away from us and given us what they want us to have. And what I think, and like I say, when I talk about entertainment, I'm not just talking about wrestling. I'm talking about everything, brother. They have minimized us in every way, shape, or form that they can. And it's not an accident. It's contrived.
That's
and it's
true.
on purpose. And I just wish more of us, took heed to that, man, because we, when it comes to entertainment, it's what we do better than any other people on this earth.
Right.
That's real. It ain't no accident when Stevie won 7 Grammys in one night. It ain't no accident when Michael Jackson wins 7, 8 Grammys in one night. You know why? Because we head and shoulders are better than everybody else. That's just
and is the highest selling artist ever in the history of the world with his album.
Right. So when we do that, that's not an accident. That's just our
true.
flavor. That's just the way God made us, bro.
That's true.
He made us that way. It's a crying shame that we look at stuff in such an inverted way that a record label like Death Row that could have ruled the world crashes, burns, and everybody goes to jail or either dies. That's a shame.
But Suge, you know what I'm saying? Suge started.
That shouldn't happen, bro.
Suge started.
But by them brainwashing us and go ahead.
Matter of fact, you heard about what happened yesterday. That they arrested 2 of his former counsel that they were trying to pay off the witnesses.
I heard about that.
I heard about that.
But I'm just saying, brother, we got to stop overlooking. We got to stop overlooking, man, that we should control what we do. We should control what we wear. We should control every single solitary entity that we do and put money, and money should go back into our neighborhoods, back into our communities, man. I mean, we would be the 9th largest, money-wise, we're the 9th largest country in the world. But that money doesn't go back into our communities. And these are things that I preach about all the time because I've been seeing it for a long time. It's one thing that I never compromised for nobody. And I never apologized for being black and being African American and being proud. That's why I tell people, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't know me.
Exactly.
You know the other guy. The other guy that listens to you. I don't listen to you because I know who you are.
Exactly.
And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not afraid.
Because because he'll catch you with a bicycle kick, goddammit.
No, I ain't talking about
a Harlem hangover on your ass.
Catch you with a Harlem hangover.
People don't want to hear the truth because they always let somebody else talk them out of it. Like Colin Kaepernick loses his job because of a protest in a country that was built on protest.
Yes, it was. A revolution.
Now, what's hypocritical about it? This whole country that we live in today was built on protest.
Yeah.
The Boston Tea Party, you learned that in the 2nd grade. The Boston Tea Party. That was protest.
Yeah. The American Revolution. With Christopher Saddick, and when he was murdered in Boston, when the British shot him, that was the beginning of the American Revolution.
Yes.
And then later on, we declared our independence from England.
Right.
This country has been built on protest and revolution. When we didn't like something, we fought the system.
Right.
If a Kaepernick,
now,
what he did to stand up,
But what I'm saying is, the way I think right now, and if I'm in the NFL, if I was a somebody, I would have had to stand with him.
Well,
you can't,
in terms of somebody signing him to the team, in terms of signing him on the team, in terms of signing him to a team, or what?
No, I said I would have had to stand with him in his protest.
Well, a lot of the guys did, but the problem is, Kaepernick, when he stood up, he had a reason for it to kneel. The problem is, I have an issue with some of these guys doing it because if you ask them what they're kneeling for, are you kneeling for, police brutality? Are you kneeling against racism? And some of those guys couldn't tell you in terms of why they're doing it.
But that I can understand that.
Right.
Some guys are just too young to know.
Right.
Some people are just uneducated on what's going on.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick was standing for something that was real. And
yes,
the media tried to turn it into something that wasn't real. You had even other players going on there talking about something else and trying to turn it into something else. Those are the guys that I don't have any fucking respect for. A guy like Ray Lewis.
It turned into like a media circus. You know, like first it was something that was first it was a statement, and then it just went out of control. It turned into like a media circus, and you know, everybody started making spoofs, and it just got silly. You know,
the powers that be would take a person like Ray Lewis and put him out there and start talking about something else, which convolutes the real fucking message.
Exactly. You know, it distorts.
Because if you don't, then we're going to take your statue down in front of the stadium. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That is why people no, I don't see him going in the neighborhoods. It ain't about going in the neighborhood. That is why you see
a whole bunch of his own money to help people in the neighborhood. He's put his money up for it. Kaepernick has put his money up to help people.
I'm talking about what Ray Lewis was saying. We need to go in
right.
blah, blah, blah. That ain't got nothing to do with the plight. The plight is I don't want to see my people dying for no reason.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I think a lot of those guys be paid off,
what's going on in the hood going to be going on in the hood forevermore. But nobody deserves to die for nothing.
And even with white people who've been shot, you know, white people say Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization, which they're not. But it's like, how come, like that dude in Arizona, God rest his soul, who got killed, and he was surrendering, the cops shot him anyway, and Black Lives Matter has taken up his cause. But how come white people are not marching angry for him being killed?
Exactly. But the thing is, most people that's in position to talk about this issue will never have to deal with this issue.
Well, it's very rare that they do.
And then not only that, you never know if they probably did march or whatever or protested because of that murder. It's not gonna get televised because you know the media's gonna televise whatever they want us to see. They're not gonna televise everything.
The racially divided, to polarize the situation.
And then tell us that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. You remember what happened in Dallas? Like the protesters had something to do with one guy, which was a lie anyway. Which was a lie by anybody that's got plain common sense. You know, that was a lie, and it was put together to make that look good because they knew they had that debate coming up in a few days. It's all good.
Exactly.
You know. They do it themselves, but they beat it to me. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about on my podcast. Because what I'm trying to do on my podcast now is I want to use wrestling to. We're still going to talk about wrestling, some of the funny stories and this, that, and the other, and some of the funny things. But I'm going to start bringing on more people that's doing stuff in the community. I'm going to start a phone line, and we take my show live. And I want people to come on like Jesse Ventura. I want people to come on like, you know, Cornell X here in town and talk about some of the things. So you start a show off with one thing, but you end up with something else. And that's what I want to do, man, because I want to try to make it.
I know that episode with Jesse Ventura is going to be very informative.
Because Jesse is real, and Jesse served in the forces, and Jesse is a real dude. I got so much respect for him. You know, and he said he supported.
I definitely can't wait. I can't wait for that episode.
Hey,
brother!
I can't wait to hear that one.
I mean, I want to have sports figures on, and you know, I can ask sports figures about what we're talking about right now, just to see what their hearts are, just to see what their heads are, because they've got us in this position right now. Don't say shit, or you won't be making your money no more. That's how they got it. That's how they got everybody.
Or side up with certain people so they can use that as a divide and conquer, like with Ray Lewis, you know, posing with 45. Talking about how he's going to help, you know, the inner city, which we all know is not going to happen.
By doing what?
Exactly.
What is Ray Lewis doing in the inner city that I've never done? And I'm from the inner city.
Exactly. But Ray
I'm going to go out and
tell
kids the truth. I'm going to go out and tell kids the truth.
Ray's become a corporate guy now.
I know that.
He's become a corporate guy.
Yeah,
I know that. That's why he does what he's doing. That's why Shannon Sharp called him out on it.
And Shannon Sharp, I rocked with Shannon on Undisputed. I rock with him because Shannon and Skip, they always come real with.
Skip don't know nothing.
I like Skip.
Skip Bayless don't know nothing. Skip Bayless, Skip Bayless, this guy actually sounds so stupid amongst athletes that really know their craft, and he started chronicling things that happened in the game. As you remember, in the third quarter, when they had a chance to get a first down right there. Blah. What the hell that's got to do with what the other guys just said?
I stopped taking him seriously when the way he was addressing the Mayweather-McGregor thing.
That was hilarious.
I stopped taking him seriously when he was. I stopped taking him seriously when he was trying to cover McGregor and Mayweather. And Mayweather won, and he was still talking about, well, you got to talk about Connor's power or Connor's punch.
That man, he's such a. You know what, dog? I really got myself over when I was doing the radio show by talking about Floyd Mayweather. I really used to make a lot of people pissed off. I would talk about Floyd. I would talk about Floyd Mayweather. No, I would come on the show every week when a boxing match would come on, and I would talk about, and I would have people on the show, boxers or boxing trainers and stuff like that, and I would get in debates with them. Matter of fact, one of Mayweather's cousins called the radio show one day, and I got into it with him. But a lot of it was sticks because I'm Stevie Ray, but a lot of it was real because I'm a huge boxing fan. Been one since I was a little bitty boy. So when I talked about Floyd Mayweather, I wasn't talking about him like like a Skip Bayless, just bringing up shit because you just don't like the guy. I'm bringing up real stuff because I am a boxing fan.
You understand?
I'm a boxing fan, and I'm not wooed by what they're doing to my mind because I can see it. So people say, well, he made this much money. I said, well, brother, if you want to talk about financial things, you need to go to CNBC or whatever they're.
Yeah, exactly. I hate when they say, exactly.
Because Floyd,
I hate when people always run to that argument.
Right.
They be like, oh, well, look how much money he got,
Right. I said, Floyd Mayweather's money ain't got nothing to do with me because it'll never go back in my pocket or my community's pocket. So why would I want to sit there and talk about that? I said, I'm a fan, and I want to see competition. Let's talk about that. I said, if you look at every single guy at Floyd Mayweather, and this is what I used to tell people. I said, I got nothing against how good the man is, but you got to realize, guys in another era, they had to fight guys with similar skills.
Exactly.
A Sugar Ray Leonard had to fight a Tommy Hearns, or Muhammad Ali had to fight a Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Forget about, Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray,
Right. Marvin Hagler. Oh, I was just mentioning two at a time. Then I would come back and throw another guy on top of that layer. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Evander Holyfield had to fight a Lennox Lewis, a Riddick Bowe, or Mike Tyson.
Right.
I say, if you look at the American Indian, the Cherokee, if he's hunting another Cherokee, he knows what that Cherokee is going to do. You know why? We're the same.
Right.
Afghan, when you go into Afghanistan, and Afghan, they hire Afghans to track other Afghans. You know why? They're the same. I know his tendencies. I know what they will do. Right or wrong?
Right.
I say Floyd Mayweather is the only person in a generation that didn't have to fight the other African-American fighter.
And see, I rock with Floyd, but when you look at Floyd's bravado and bluster, Floyd is a very fundamental fighter.
I ain't even getting into that.
Right.
That really has nothing to do with anything. When you fight the flat-footed Hispanic fighter,
right.
In essence, you're fighting the same guy over and over and over again. And that style of fighting that you do will beat that class of fighting every day of the week.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I also say, too. Go ahead.
Huh? You
only
will have to come out of your – you don't even have to come out of your comfort zone because you know it's so good. And I say the thing is, when Floyd Mayweather became to the top and the height of his popularity, there were no more African-American fighters around to fight at that level.
That's true.
And if they were, they wasn't getting a push. Like the wrestling business, you wasn't getting a push. So in essence, in essence, what they do is build up a guy like the Vic Ortiz, who's really a nobody, or Robert Guerrero, a fucking nobody. You know, even Canelo Alvarez, he was somebody that was not as good as people thought he was. He was just bigger.
Yeah,
he wasn't better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Marcus Madonna, who you fought twice, that nobody knew. That Devin Alexander beat, that Amir Khan beat, but you fought him.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, all these guys are built up from a 24/7 show to make people believe this guy can beat you. It's pro wrestling 101.
Yeah. Look, Mayweather ain't going to fight
now. If we really want to talk about real competition, I didn't see him getting in the ring with Paul. I didn't see him getting in the ring with Paul Williams before Paul Williams had his accident. Right?
Yeah, I was about to mention Paul Williams. Paul Williams was nasty.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see him getting in the ring with him. I didn't see him getting in the ring with
Gennady.
some of the some of the other guys because they well, he ain't beat nobody, but wait a minute. Marcus Madonna, I just said, lost to Amir Khan and Devin Alexander. But they knew the Hispanic dollar would always follow the money.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm not talking about how good somebody is. I'm not talking about how rich somebody is. What I'm talking about is, there you go. So
and the Mexicans have a big contingent. They have a very big contingent.
I will always avoid risk for high reward.
Exactly.
Because it's a mind thing. They made people believe this guy has a chance. And that's why the fights are so boring, and that's why you don't even remember them.
That's true.
That's what. You look on HBO or Showtime 24/7. Hey, you thinking, this dude gonna beat Floyd, or this dude, he gonna knock Floyd out. Then you go check the fight. This dude's a bum.
This guy's a bum. Robert Guerrero ain't won a fight since he fought Floyd Mayweather. I mean, Marcus Madonna, he retired after the fight. Andre Berto, how many people beat this man up? So many people beat this man up, he had to go back to Haiti. I mean, really?
And look, by the time he fought Pacquiao was already in the end when Mayweather fought him.
Say what now?
Yeah, the thing Berto had a chance. It was like Floyd's last fight.
But you remember, even in the Pacquiao fight, the man had a fucking torn labrum and they wouldn't even let him get a shot.
That's true.
That was true.
Pacquiao got knocked out too.
I know
before.
the media tried to make it seem like it wasn't, but if you look at the fight, goddamn, wasn't no punches even thrown because Floyd held the man the whole fight.
Yeah, I mean, when Juan Manuel Marquez knocked out Pacquiao, that was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, but in that 4 or 5 rounds, what did you see in that 4 or 5 rounds? You seen two people trying to knock each other's heads off.
Yeah.
Okay, you got me.
But that's how the
I'm not afraid to fight a motherfucker as good. Go ahead.
That's how the Spanish boxers really be fighting, though. Like always mentioned, like with the Mexican boxers, it would be the first round. It was like 500 thrown, 450 landed.
Right, and that's why you will always remember the fight with those guys. Like you just brought up Pacquiao getting knocked out. You remember that fight because it was a short fight, but both of them got knocked down. But if you are a fan to boxing, I want to see a top guy against another top guy. I ain't even have to fight you, but I know I can beat you, and I can't get it out of my butt. We got to fight
exactly.
Again. I admire that. If you see what I'm saying,
right?
I admire that. You don't know how many times when I was a kid. And, I'm thinking, I'm about to get into it with somebody at school, and I'm like, I know I can beat this punk, and I can't go to sleep that night.
Right.
I know I can beat that punk. You know what I'm saying? And just because some of my friends have said they thought he could, he might be as tough as you. Whether it's on the basketball court, whether it's running, who's the fat, you know what I'm saying? That's the competition spirit within you. And it ain't nothing wrong with it. I want to do it because that fire in you you ain't gonna be satisfied until you test yourself against that guy.
It's a competitor. You got to know who you can measure yourself by.
And that's the difference between people that do stuff like that for a living and people. So how easy is it for me to choose a nobody and then just want to make money? So in essence, you taking the spirit out of competition.
Exactly.
And a lot of people never got that because you so enamored on how much money somebody get made that you done lost focus of what true competition is all about.
And see, guys like Gennady, Floyd don't want no parts of Gennady. He don't want no parts of him. Gennady will go right at him. Triple G, Gennady.
I take it back. Gennady Golovkin is one thing. 2 years removed from Canelo, he wouldn't have did that fight again. You know why?
Right.
Because Canelo within 2 years, got so much better.
Yeah.
He got so much better.
That's true.
He wouldn't even did that. Seriously. Because you know why? I'm going to have to fight the guy this time.
Exactly.
Floyd would not, once he got to his height, he would not fight a guy that proposed a threat to him.
Exactly.
Not one single solitary guy. And I'm going to tell you something. When he fought Canelo the first time, the only reason he took that fight is Canelo Alvarez had fought Austin Trout. Do you remember that? He fought Austin Trout. And everybody saw right there, Canelo is not as good as everybody think he is. Real talk.
I think we had some. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a great boxing analyst right there that you gave us. And we about to wrap this thing up shortly. And this is one of the reasons why we chose you to be a part of the show is because we're a very diverse show. Like when we have a guest on there, we don't just talk about just the rap side of things. We like getting into different layers of who we talking to. And this is the first time we ever had a wrestler on, so we figured we want to have different layers into the discussion.
Word.
Hey,
we learned a lot more about Stevie Ray, man. Like other than wrestling, we learned a lot more. Like he love movies, love boxing. So.
Oh, I love a lot of things, bro. I love a lot of things, man. And
as always, Off the Cuff Radio is very informative.
I try to be a kind of person that knows a little about a lot. And two things I'd never want to be was the dumbest guy in the room. I don't want to be the oldest guy in the room and the dumbest guy in the room. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be both.
Yeah.
That's just out.
Keeping that balance, man.
But I already know before we wrap up, you want to chop it up about the Rumble real quick, King?
Well, actually, we're doing a pre-show tonight. Actually, my producer just texted me. We're going to shoot a pre-show tonight. That's what I'm getting ready to do now. Man, I didn't realize I've been on the phone with y'all this long.
Man, that's how the show
it up.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how they get
chopping it up, man.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I did not know I had been on the phone with you guys this long. It's after 4 o'clock, and we started around 2 o'clock. But anyway, but we covered a lot of ground, brother. We covered a lot of ground. What I like is when people come on. I really don't do a lot of interviews anymore, man, because it's certain people they've got shows and they want to talk about stuff, but they really don't know anything. And it's hard for me to really chop it up with people that don't know anything about stuff and don't want to know anything about stuff. My mind just doesn't float on that level anymore, and that's not trying to be disrespectful, but to talk about a match that I had with so-and-so, and you try to tell, look, bro, I don't remember that. I can barely remember yesterday. I've been hit on the head with so many chairs and stuff like that for me to get back into nuances of what happened in a match, it's really, beyond my comprehension but talking about what you guys talked about today in some of the different categories, and if I can explain certain things that go on in the wrestling business, even though you guys are fans, you can look at it in a different perspective now, and that's what I like to do, to give you parts of stuff that you can look at it in a different way now, and it kind of educates you a little on, what goes on in the business, and you guys kind of educated me on some of the other things that you guys know about, and that's what really chopping it up is about. And those are the things that I like to be involved in, and with people that understand what's really going on in this world and what's really going on with our people and what's really going on, and to see things for what they are and just don't fall into this brainwashing, this mass media propaganda that goes on a day-to-day basis that really, drives me. It just drives me batty. It really does.
Yeah, man.
To see things, and I'm a strong believer in Colonel L. Fletcher Prouty. I've read a couple of his books, and I strongly believe in one thing that he said in the first book that I read, that he former military liaison to the Pentagon. And
right.
He says that nothing in this world happens by accident. Nothing. And I believe
that's true. That's a military mindset.
I believe that. So,
yeah.
I guess you want to end it on that note, King? Nothing in this world happens by accident. I guess we can end it on that note.
Yeah. And on top of it, we're going to definitely end it on that. And I wish we could get extra plug in the rum, oil rum for $9.99. I want that check, B. I want to see that Titan check released one time. We've been covering these pay-per-views for about 2 or 3 years since we started, and we get tired of making the event sound good, but then when we look at the presentation, it just be garbage.
You know what it is? And we spoke about this too on the show on Friday. Like, the build-up for the Royal Rumble has been so lackluster, so garbage.
Right.
Any money bet Stevie Ray was going to take over the show, and look what happened. Because there's nothing to really talk about.
I tell you what, man, what we talked about tonight was a little bit more interesting, so cause there'll be more World
Exactly.
Step and I'm going to cover. Actually,
right.
my pre-show tonight is going to cover. What we're going to do is talk about some of the matches, and I'm just have people send in comments, and I'll talk about the matches and stuff like that. And I might even get into a little Enzo news. Might get into a little of that also. And see what people think about that.
So okay, we got a few more minutes left, right? Right, Kid? We got like a little bit more time left, right?
I'm gonna try to stretch it until they tell us to get the hell up out of here. that's
all right, so let's build on the Rumble real quick. So
okay.
Basically, like before we get to the Rumble though, you wanted to build on the Enzo situation. You wanted to say something about that?
The Enzo situation is what I'm going to talk about on my own show tonight. So I have to skip.
Yeah.
I have, with all due respect, I have to skip anything that I got, any comments, any thoughts I have on his situation right now.
Right.
Yeah,
no problem.
We can't take all his content. We gotta get that content.
I tried. You can't blame me for trying. Can't blame me for trying.
That's that content.
I can't blame me for that. But I'm just saying, this is some of the things that we'll get into tonight. You know what I'm saying? You guys can send a comment in. You know what I'm saying? And because it will be live on YouTube, and we're going to talk about a few things, but basically we're going to be talking about the Royal Rumbles. And what I like to do is hear the people comments, and I like to comment on the people comments and things of that nature. Keep things fresh and just giving my opinion on everything. A lot of people want to hear my opinion on their opinions. So, and it makes the show interesting. So, that's what we're going to.
So is there any wrestler? I know you don't normally watch the product, like heavily. But is there anybody, like any wrestler out there that you think that's good right now?
Oh, I think of a lot of them that's very good. It's not the wrestlers that I really concentrate on. It's pretty much the show.
Right.
And how everything flows. You know what I'm saying? How everything flows. And it's just the fact that they got so much of it to do now. It's just hard to keep trying to better yourself. It's hard. And I understand that. So you're talking about a 3-hour show one night, 2-hour show another night, and then you got to, implement this many guys from this show, this many guys from this show, how many girls, and make all this stuff make sense at the end of the day. That's very, very hard to do. So that's why it's hard
man.
for me. You know, from my era, you know what I'm saying, the promos were 50% of the show.
Yeah, you
and
are
now
so
the
right.
promos, that's not an art. That's not an art form anymore like it used to be. You know.
That's true.
You are so
Yeah,
right.
I
I'm
know
glad
that.
you said that because we was talking about that also. Because that's like the key thing that's missing in wrestling nowadays. Like, because when you guys said y'all promos, it was like character development. You know.
Right.
And it's like that's
And
what made us give a fuck about the Road Warriors or
Exactly.
Harlem Heat or
Exactly.
you know, because it's mainly the promos. Because you won't see them fight all the time. Like you guys are fighting like when it comes to like a special event. You know, y'all won't fight all the time, but like half the time you guys is cutting promos, and that's what makes us look and be like. Nah, I gotta see these guys fight. You know, I want to see these. You know, these dudes sound like they serious.
And that's why I say pop culture kind of rules things today. But like back in the day, you didn't see the guys wrestling each other every night. You had to pay to see it. You know what I'm saying? Just like Muhammad Ali. Just like Muhammad Ali or Elvis Presley. You had to pay to see them.
Exactly.
You see Ali fight on ESPN?
That's not from your generation, but you never seen Elvis Presley doing interviews. You want to see him? Get your checkbook out.
There you go.
Exactly.
You got to pay that $49.99.
I mean, I'm just saying, and this was 45 years ago. I'm just saying, you want to see Muhammad Ali? You might see him on a show here and there. You know what I'm saying? But he was a very good self-promoter. He was doing pro wrestling stuff before we were doing pro wrestling stuff.
One of the original hip-hop trash talkers.
Right. So, in essence...
Remember, he fought Antonio Inoki.
But what I'm saying is you never seen Ali you see him go to colleges and talk to those people, you know, the scholars and new scholars of the world. But you never really seen him down at the bookstore or the record store. You know what I'm saying? You got to come. No. You got to see him. You want to see him? You got to see him in the ring.
Yeah.
So nowadays, the reason I'm bringing that up is, well, somebody wanted to see us fight the Nasty Boys, well, they see us on pay-per-view.
Right.
Like you said, you see us talking shit to each other up until that pay-per-view.
Right.
And in some cases, if y'all do interact, one of y'all kicking each other ass, and you want to see that person get that payback on the pay-per-view.
There you go.
Man.
There you go. You never let it in.
Exactly.
And that's all part of character development, and I think that's the main thing that's missing. Because that's why, you got a point with you said it's hard to basically for WWE to make sense of things and better what they've already done in the past. But for us looking at it on the outside, outside looking in, it just seems so simple. It's like certain things is like, come on, you really can't. Are you telling me you're gonna do this? And we just see something completely different 2 weeks ago, and we're supposed to forget about that. It's type of shit like that.
Well, I say, it's so much to do. You got, in a month's time, you running 8 live shows, 5 hours each. 5 hours together.
That's a lot.
That's 20 hours of wrestling in a month's time.
Yeah.
Live. And then you're talking about.
But I've heard plenty of wrestlers said that when it comes to Monday Night Raw, a lot of them don't even know what they're doing for that day, for that night.
You don't. It's hard writing a script week to week like that. That's hard, bro. And that's
week
why
to week with no off season.
The product can suffer, but at the end of the day, nobody really knows the product is suffering because the product has no competition.
That's true. If they're the only game in town, then
Right, because they're still going to, most people don't really know what they're watching anyway, so they're still going to watch. You know, they don't look at it in a lot of ways the way someone like myself would, because I'm looking at it from we
see it. We definitely see that as suffering. We definitely see that as suffering, you know.
but it has no competition. So when you do suffer, you know what I'm saying, you get a pass. It ain't like when suffering
because he's still making that average quota. Vince is still making that average quota, so he's satisfied with that. He's getting his his 3.5 the most, you could say.
Right.
On the rating scale.
That's why competition is good. Competition is always good. That's America. Competition. That's like when I was talking about Floyd Mayweather. Competition. It's always good. It'll always flourish. And it'll always, whatever sport that may be or whatever entertainment that may be, makes it better. If the OJs go out before the Temptations and they rock the house, the Temptations going to say, shit, we better step it up a notch. If Nas goes out before Jay-Z, you dig what I'm saying? And he rocks the house. And Jay-Z don't want these people going, damn, Nas was better than Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying?
Jay-Z got to follow it up.
Competition is good because you know what it does? It makes you better. And it makes the product better. And it makes the industry better.
That's true.
I know a lot of people don't look at it like that because they're just consumers. And if you're just a consumer, you don't even know anything about the other side. And you don't really care. You just want to be entertained.
But it's always good to have a diverse market.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Huh?
It's always great to have a diverse market in terms of options for people.
There you go.
You know, competitors pushing each other to make them each better.
There you go. Because if you don't,
every gem's right
the product starts to suffer. The product starts to suffer, and people will start to find somewhere else to spend their money. This is why I got on the radio and told people Floyd Mayweather hurt the business more than he helped the business, because you turned people off. Once you turn people off, I work hard for my money. They say you got paid $200 million to fight Pacquiao. I lost the fucking $100 million because you didn't do shit.
True that.
So for the next guy to come up and be the next pay-per-view guy, I ain't fucking paying for this motherfucker. He might try to get me like Mayweather them did. You see what I'm saying?
Finesse.
That's how the human mind works.
That's that finesse game right there.
That's how the human mind works.
Man. I don't care what nobody say. Mayweather is a smart businessman. He's undefeated. He made his money, and his brain is not mashed potatoes.
Good for him.
He's a smart businessman.
Good for him.
Good. He said it's good for him, but bad for in terms of the
boxing
sport
business.
of boxing.
Because now the other parts of the boxing business, those guys will suffer. In essence, you look from the business that was. In essence, that's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about the wrestling business. I will never take from this business because it's been good for me and not give back to it.
He tried to give us Adrian Broner.
So when Jesus Christ, let's take that for instance. When Jesus Christ talked to all of his disciples, what did he tell them to do? Did he say just take, or did he say give?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adrian Broner,
Jesus Christ was always given. Jesus Christ didn't take anything.
Because I'm here to spread the word of my Father. Don't worship me, worship God.
That's what it is.
So whether this man's mind is scrambled or not, let me ask you this. Would he be in the position that he would be in today, unscrambled mind and fat pockets, if it wasn't other people have died, making it what it is?
Rest in peace to a lot of them over the years. Johnny Tapia, Jimmy Garcia.
No. I'm talking about my man that was saying his mind ain't scrambled. He got a lot of money in his bank.
Yeah, Sandman. That's my name. That's my name.
Huh?
You talking about?
No, I'm saying my name is Sandman.
Yeah.
No relation to the wrestler.
Well, I ain't gonna get on the Sandman, but anyway, the other Sandman, not the real Sandman, but the other Sandman.
Yeah, no relation to the wrestler.
What I'm saying is this business was here 100 years before you got here.
That's true.
Did you take it to another level, or did you just take from it? I promise you right now, and I know a lot of people in the boxing business right here in town that train people, and that about the Charlo brothers, they live here. They train here. One of them got a gym right down the street from my house. They'll never say this in public, and I ain't talking about them per se, but people in the boxing business, period. They will never say this in public, but most people in the boxing business will tell you they're glad Floyd Mayweather is gone.
I believe it.
Because he did nothing to help the business. But people that don't know anything about business and that don't know anything about sports as to what sports come from and why sports, just like the Olympics, it was formed for people, yes.
And it's the best of the best.
It used to just be a bragging thing. And then it became, okay, let's pay them. But at the end of the day, no business flourishes unless you have competition. That's why they changed all the rules in the NFL to make it easy for a quarterback to be a fucking Tom Brady.
That's true.
Or Peyton Manning.
And a receiver is to catch the ball.
But check this out, guys. Hold on, Stevie Ray. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do gotta go. I gotta take care of a few things and all that, and then I gotta get ready for the Royal Rumble and stuff. Yo, Stevie Ray, it was awesome having you here, chopping it up on Off the Cuff Radio. Yo, I'm definitely gonna check out the podcast when I get the chance.
Yeah, I gotta go get ready myself, man. I appreciate you guys, man. We're gonna do it again, man.
Definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Hopefully, tell Booker, man. Tell Booker what's up. Like, have the Harlem Heat on the show, man. Why not? Like, ask Booker what's up, man.
I don't know if he's. I don't know if they, because he's under contract with WWE. I don't know if.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if he's doing his
own.
So
we won't say nothing about WWE. We're not gonna talk shit about Vince or nothing.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't know if he set his own stuff up or somebody up there set him up to be on other shows. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's different that way with certain wrestlers.
Yeah, I know.
Entertainment business, period.
Right.
I
definitely know.
Yeah, they won't have you on certain shows.
Right.
Unless it's beneficial there, because they don't want the possible risk of the product that they work for or they're promoting to be put down.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I don't know on that end. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hey, man, I appreciate everything. Hey, man, I had a blast, brother. And
spread the word. Yo, spread the word. Stevie Ray Off the Cuff Radio.
I put it on my Twitter and I put it on my Facebook. So you was out there.
Definitely, brother.
Thank you so much.
All right, dog. I'll get back with y'all later, man. Peace.
Okay, peace.
All right, Stevie Ray.